still works. I used to think this was a nice place to sit, even though my steering wheel has seen better days. My dash, yeah, a little bit rusty, but still got the job done. But since this thing's been in the shed, with its nice, restored, fresh GT dash, immaculate chrome and sharp gauges, and really, really cool GT steering wheel, I don't know if I like mine as much anymore. So welcome back to Meatball Garage, where I have bought many things. Come with me. So I've gone and splashed out on a new GS dash with all the lovely gauges, an 8 grand tack and a new 140 mile per hour speedo. I've also got this here steering wheel, which I'll take you through a little bit later. There's two types of steering wheels on the market for these XWs, XYs. There's one that's got a very, very shiny rim and one that's got more of an original style grainy type rim like this one. I went for this one purely because I like the look of it a bit better. The other one doesn't look too bad, but comes down to personal preference. I've also got a GS badge here too because my car's a Fairmont, it's not a GT, and I have no plans to make that a mock-up at any stage. The first thing I'm going to do is pull the steering wheel off because that's going to give me a lot more room to work with, and basically just disassemble everything that's in my car at the moment and hopefully not see any surprises with the wiring back there. Yeah, this will be fun. So take one last look at how this dash looks with my, I think this was a Summit Racing tacho, and my Summit Racing gauges down here. These have been pretty good. One thing I'm going to maintain is this here red LED that tells me when my thermo fan's on. I'll have to take that out as well, and I might even take this seat out. Okay, these Fairmont wheels and Falcon wheels, they've only got 2 screws along the back here. I think that's one there. Oh yeah, disconnect your battery, do that. I wonder what these wheels are worth. A few $100, maybe in better condition. I think that just allows you to remove the crash pad. Wonderful. Oh, that's right, you just push in like that and everything comes apart. There we go. Ah, and the little mark on the steering wheel shows being straight up's worn off, so I might just put that back on. Oh yeah, here's another tip. Make sure your wheels are pointing straight. That'd be smart, wouldn't it? I just got myself a level and with the wheel straight drew a line there to make sure that I'm happy with that. And look, the amount of play in this thing should be close enough. So now we've got to get rid of this big nut here, and then once that's off we can use the steering wheel puller to get the actual wheel off. Right, let's see if we can hold the camera and do this at the same time. There we are, lovely. Don't lose this nut or washer. Brilliant. So these things are all tapered nuts, so you need a steering wheel puller to get them off. The way a steering wheel puller works is that you've got these two, I suppose, securing bolts that go into your actual steering wheel. So you'll have one there and one there. And then you'll have this little device here, which will, I suppose, lock against the secured nuts like that. And then when you screw this in, it'll essentially force these things to pull the steering wheel off. Just pop this little locator here, like so. So we just need to tighten her up. There we are. I think they got it. Bingo. Thank you, old girl. You've done excellent, but your services are now rendered redundant. Please take your severance package and I might use you as decoration. Righto, now that the steering wheel's out of the way, I can start disassembling the dashboard. Essentially, a couple of screws across the top. I'll need to take each of the wipers and the lights switches out, because these switches actually help hold in the dashboard. I'll get rid of my old auxiliary gauges. I might just lay them down there until I unhook the senders from the engine. Same with the tacho and the stereo as well. I think that stereo might have to come out first and go in last. How many double entendres can we have here? Right, a couple of tips on getting your knobs out like this one. So first, your light switch, you'll have to do a reach around and sort of work like so and find a little button on top of where this shaft sits behind here. So reach around, touch the shaft, away you go. Push that button and that shaft will come straight out and you'll be able to get to the like clamping thing here. Your wiper one, just pull straight off like that. Pretty easy, the wiper one. These ventilation ones will have like an Allen key nut just underneath for these two. So you need to undo both of those to take the actual knobs off before you can get to the shaft. Shaft, knob, bolt. Now to actually undo the nut that's in there, I would suggest investing in a tool like this. You can buy them from a lot of the parts places. It's basically designed to go over the shaft and unscrew that little retainer clip. And I'd say you're better off using this than a pair of pliers or something, because it just fits in nice and snug like that and gives you a nice good purchase on it too, so there's no chance of you slipping and ruining your new dash if you're installing it. So I'll just do this one to show you guys, and that's enough. Now that should come out by hand. Bloody marvellous. And there's your switch there, now unsecured. Hey, future Mark here. One thing I did do when I was pulling everything apart was bag and tag all the screws and clips that came out of this dash. Trust me, do it now, it is well worth your time. Right, I'm going to get rid of those 3 glue gauges that are under the dash, so I need to start undoing the wiring in the engine bay. I know that these two, one of them is for the voltmeter and the other one's power to the tack. I don't know if that's right to wire them there, but they seem to work. And I think that one there is my current tack, so I'm going to have to undo all these nice little braided thingamajigs. Oh, and undo all these bloody cable ties too. It's all right. That was like a 4-beer job, organising all that. Could be another one putting it back together. All right, let me get to it. Oh, I know, my wiring's messy, but it's better than what I found under the dash, trust me. Right, we finally got that old fitting out, and I've popped a new one in whilst we're here, just so it's all buttoned up and I can put that heat hose back on. Have a look at the old prod. You want to call it prod? I don't know. The old prod for the mechanical temp gauge. It's pretty significant, isn't it? The only thing that's going to remain is this cable here, which is wired into the power of the thermofan, and that powers my little LED light. Now, because I'm putting a factory gauge back in, I got a factory all pressure sender to put back in, right? Now, it's a pain in the ass to get down there, so it's very tempting just to put this in and screw it on with your hand. But old mate at the Ford Performance Shop said, please resist doing that, because as you can see, that's kind of, might see better in the light here. That's 2 pieces, and there's a wire that runs from the top here to the bottom. So if you put your hand and you give it a good tug or a twist, these two could separate, this piece here and that piece there. They're only sort of crimped in, and you'll stuff the wire, the sender wire, and you won't have any oil pressure reading. So make sure you put a spanner around this to tighten it. I'll give you the big tip. This is not a fun job. I've even got my little emergency spanner kit from the boot, which I've got these shorties in there to bloody do it up little bit by bit by bit. It's bloody hard work, that. Lucky we've got all night, and I've got a fridge full. I think I'm about to go overboard here, so my goal today was to get the dash out and build the other one, but Now that I see how much like old paint is there, or the original colour of the trim is there, I think I'm actually going to take the whole lot out. So I'll get the dash out, also maybe even take the crash pad off, and just repaint some of these things as well, like that. You could see a tiny brown line here when this piece was installed previously. These little dog Lego thingos as well, just getting a bit worse for wear. Okay, we're nearly ready to pull this thing out. A couple of things. Undo your speedo drive first, because it won't come out without that being undone. And also, lower your column. There's a couple of bolts under here. They're 1/2 inch. I think there's 3 on one side, 2 on the other. Lower them down as far as you can, and that'll give you a bit more wiggle room. Before I pull this out, I want to show you something. When you don't build the car yourself, there's always little surprises that you find. And all my little wood grain bits are genuine Ford Motor Company bits and pieces. So I always wondered if they were fair dinkum or not, but they are. And this one is too. FOMOCO, Fear of Missing Out Company. The chrome's not going to look as nice against the new dash fascia, but the original. But yeah, have a look at some of these. The old trim on the inside. It's starting to come off here and there. This one here was just painted, so we'll give that one a run over as well. Probably a bit of a shame, but it doesn't look like there's any stampings or anything like that on this, so it could be a repro. Doesn't matter. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh, well, the speedo's out. There we go. That's the thing that was holding it. Rest that like so. Tape, texter, and we can mark up what needs to go where, so it makes it easier putting stuff back in. But yeah, that speedo cable was bloody tight. And I've noticed as well, like there's a whole heap of other mystery wiring just under here. It really only should be the headlight, the indicator thing. But there's other like stuff earthing to random spots and just bizarro things. When you're writing your labels, guys, be as clear as you can. Don't use some weirdo shorthand like that idiot on screen did and have to come back and figure out what the hell he wrote a day after. Simple, clean, trust me. Let's have a quick squiz at this old dash whilst we've got it out. She's pretty gnarly. There's a grommet, there's always been a grommet here. Someone once told me that may have been the location for the 6-cylinder aircon position switch. Mystery switch, could have been for gas. My old taco rubbing against it. There's no Ford Motor Company markings on it. A couple of little squiggles and things. There's that loop wire that the guy said you've got to have. This job's taking a lot longer than I thought it would. But like most things, they snowball, so whatever. I found some mystery wires too, so apparently there was already a wire under the dash that had taco written on it, and it's already connected to the bloody coil, but it's kind of wound up and whatnot in here. And there's also this one here, which was sort of hovering about the negative side of the coil, so don't know what that's about. So I'm going to undo those and look. Oh, I hate this stuff. I just find it incredibly boring, but what are you going to do? Whilst I'm here, I might as well do it. Right, I've just done all the little nuts holding this in. There's a whole heap. One in there, and a couple along the top and on the side as well. And I've just removed this windlace, and you can see here the old brown trim. I think this is even painted as well, but we've just got to carefully move that forward and up. Just that one thing here doesn't want to come loose. All right, we got it. It just needed some persuasion in that corner there. And here's our bare dash. Hey, no wonder the dash never fit. Look, I had this speed clip there. Look at that one. Look how far off it is. Same here. No wonder. And none over there, as expected. There's none over on there. That does explain why the thing never sat flush. All right, let's work out what we're going to do next.